I don't know if I told you this, Scott, but one time I was in a meeting here at Berklee. This is like 20 years ago, over 25 years ago. And Pat Metheny was at the meeting. And at the end of the meeting, I asked him, because I was going to go teach this class with like 20 bass players.
Yeah.
I teach a survey class. It's like a history class.
Yeah.
I said, Pat, if you were going to advertise for a bassist, what would the ad read like? You're going to love this, Scott.
This is a great question.
And he said, yeah, he said, all right, they got to play in tune. They have to play in tune. Fretted, fretless, upright, got to be in tune. And then he thought, it took him like a minute or two, and he said, I want a bass player who has studied and knows everything they could possibly know about bebop and not want to play a note of it.
And not want to play a note of it.
Right. So the meaning there, that was like an epiphany for me. And then, of course, I told my class, and I've been telling that story for years. It's like study, 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 so that you hear the music,
yeah,
but understand what the bass does as a functional, supportive bottom, which is the true meaning of bass. It's the lowest point. So if you study your harmony and study your melody, and as he says, not want to play a note of it, what you'll do is you'll play bass.
Yeah.
I just that taught me a lot. That was what a great answer, huh?
So understand, yeah, fantastic. So understand essentially everything that's going on, but stay within your job description.
Exactly. Well put. That will be my addendum from Scott Devine.
Yeah.
At the end of the story. No, stay within your job description, and that could be anything. I mean, I just think of. I've had really interesting students throughout the years. You know, Matt Garrison, Esperanza Spalding. I mean, Brian Beller. People who've gone on to have wonderful careers.
Yeah.
And to watch them when they were younger, being so inquisitive. Just wondering about the music, about the function of all these melody, harmony, bass, and then those three people that I just mentioned hitting the scene with their own unique voices. It's a beautiful thing. And it's not, those are names that maybe bass players know about. There's plenty of people out in the world gigging and functioning as musicians and that we never hear about, but they're having beautiful lives and they have children and they're doing all sorts of things, It's really cool. So it's very gratifying to know that you had something to do with planting a seed in their development. And that's, again, that's what I find that the Academy's doing that just 24/7.
Yeah.
It's cool.
With those guys, say, for instance, like Matt Garrison, Esperanza, Brian Beller, with these guys that you've seen come through Berklee, is there a commonality between it? Is there a common thread between them where there's something that you see in those students that is they've all kind of got a similar thing within their personality?
Yeah. They all came to school with a very, very good ear. So you could tell they had already structured a work ethic that cemented a decent musical ear in them. I mean, Brian's ear is profound. He hears everything.
Really?
And he did when he was 18 when I met him. And then Matt and like Esperanza, very curious. They worked so hard on what they were after.
Yeah.
So you'd open up things in lessons and they would come back the next week having devoured it and gone on to the next step. I think the best we do as teachers is to teach students how to teach themselves, and everybody's different.
Absolutely.
Not everybody's going to be a trendsetter, innovator. But I think Esperanza had that in her DNA.
Yeah, because she really is, isn't she? And what was she like when she got to college? Like, what kind of level was she at?
She just in this room. She joined my Motown lab and she bought a fretless Fender jazz bass for it. And you know who she really liked? I turn people on to the usual suspects, our usual greats.
Yeah.
The Jamerson and Chuck Rainey and Tommy Cogbill and David Hood and Duck Dunn and Carol Kay. But she loved Leroy Hodges, who recorded on all those great Al Green records. There was something about him that she really dug. And now that to tie it into your last comment, did you ever notice anything about these students when they were young that hinted that they were going to be somewhat of a trendsetter.
Yeah.
If you're attracted to like Leroy Hodges, not everybody is attracted to that type of player. When you listen to "Let's Stay Together" or what's the other one? Any of the Al Green hits, there's something special there. Yeah. But you got to dig in to find it.
Yeah.
And she would dig in.
She'd kind of really into sort of like basically sort of like investigating the music in a deeper way.
Exactly. Love and Happiness is the other song I was thinking of. But she'd go beyond that. And actually, you know, I think Al Green, just as an artist, I mean, now he has, there's a record that came out, 4 or 5 years ago with that great bass player from Philly. Oh, gosh.
Which one? There seems to be a ton of great bass players coming out of Philly.
I don't know what's in the water, man, but I got to go to Philly more often. Right, Gerald Veasley and all these people.
Yeah.
Ray Brown and Paul Chambers and my favorite trumpet player, Lee Morgan. They're all from Philly.
Adam Blackstone.
Thank you. That's the name,
Is that
Scott.
the guy? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a record that he did with Questlove on drums 4 or 5 years ago, Al Green with Adam Blackstone on bass.
Really?
It is magical.